I scream, you scream, we all scream for Howard-ween.
Hey.
That's right, Hollow Victories fans. It's another episode of Halloween Victories. And today we are bringing the king home with two Clint Howard movies. I am your host, Matt Presents, joined as always by my extremely old co-host.
Oh, look at you, motherfucker. Hello, my name is Makal Copperdick. Fuck.
I gotta get the licks in while I can. This is probably going to be the only episode where you are a decrepit old 30-year-old and I am hot and young and in my 20s.
Matt and I literally, and it's not even like 2 weeks in a day, we literally have 2 weeks in between our birthdays.
And this episode is late.
I could have had one more episode in my 20s.
Yeah. You could have had one more and you didn't. I blame this on a combination of my coworker going out of town and T-Mobile just being too slow for you.
Yeah, I'm not even mad. Like I said, the shop I was at, it was T-Mobile as a whole, not the shop I was at. The person at my shop, I gave her a 10. She was very helpful. But I don't know why I'm defending. That's something I need to do, but I don't know. I appreciated her. I did not. T-Mobile their shit was not together, but the specific shop I was in, their shit was together.
That's usually how it is, I think.
Sometimes you get a really shitty store. Sometimes you get really careless employees.
Yeah. Anyways, it's Halloween, and we're watching two horror movies that star Clint Howard, and that's just about the only connection they have. Granted, it's not like Clint Howard is known for, his starring roles, so
right.
It is kind of significant that he stars in both of these movies. It's Evilspeak versus Ice Cream Man.
Yeah, kind of an interesting pair-up, but I am all for the more obscure pair-ups. Sometimes you go with the basics, like, oh, we're going to do two YouTuber movies. Oh, we're going to do two bad comic book movies. No, this is like the Clint Howard horror movie double feature, and I like that we have weird ones like that.
I mean, it's entirely because he is the king of Hollow Victories, which this episode absolutely reestablishes him as. No, there's no question from now on. He is the king.
Oh, yeah. No, and I'm happy to see him have it because, as always, I always feel like whenever we talk about someone with Clint Howard in it, it's like always, Clint Howard's always a complimented part of it. He's good at playing weird, creepy characters. And one of these two movies, I'd even argue he's like creepy at the end because, of course, but it's like he's really targeting people that you are looking forward to see dying. And also, he's kind of just like a sweet kid throughout most of the movie, He's being tortured by the world around him.
Yeah, maybe we should get into it. Why don't you introduce Evilspeak for us?
Yeah, so Evilspeak, released in 1982, directed by Eric Weston, is a film about a kid who's in a military school, who is being relentlessly bullied by the world around him. And the description on on Google says bullied by classmates. He's bullied by the teachers. He's bullied by everybody. There's one or two, he has a friend, he has a buddy who's kind of looking out for him. One of the guys who works in the cafeteria is nice, but the people he has to do community service work with is fucking evil to him. The teachers are fucking evil to him. The people running the school are evil to him. The coach is evil to him. These classmates are evil to him. There's a scene where these girls seem like they're gonna be nice to him, but then they are involved in the events that lead to his dog being killed. So they're not cheering for it, but they're also not doing anything to try to stop it. So just a movie with downright despicable characters, and the entire process is just as he's kind of learning how he can do the satanic ritual slowly through movie with the quirk of this movie is he's doing it on a computer through coding. As he slowly starts to learn how to do that as the movie goes on, and his patience is drawn thinner and thinner as time goes by, it's kind of all just leading up to the scene where it's here's the revenge scene. You watched this movie for the revenge scene, here's the revenge scene. And I think that's kind of what this is. There are other details to talk about, but it is mostly just a movie of of watching someone be tortured up until the point where he fights back, and that's it. And the scene where he fights back is really satisfying because there's not really any room for redemption with most of these characters. You're not going to feel bad for seeing them die.
Yeah.
What'd you think of this movie, Matt?
There's a lot of horror films where, like, they save all the, like, kills till, like, the final, like, the third act. And I don't know if this movie totally justifies that, because a lot of that, what's leading up to that is not that interesting. But once that third act hits, it's fucking amazing. I love the ending. I love the ending.
Me too.
Like,
it's really funny.
He's like he's fully possessed by like this old Spanish Satanist, and is just like slaughtering these assholes who have been so terrible to him the whole movie. It's like, yeah, it's a really satisfying ending, but it's like not very satisfying setup, you know?
I think they do a great job too with the final nail in the coffin, although I will say that, like, I know a lot of people who can't stand seeing an animal get hurt in a movie, especially a dog. So if you don't like seeing puppy murder, if John Wick was a turnoff for you, maybe don't watch this one. But like,
no, it is like horror John Wick.
Yes.
Although if it were horror John Wick, the puppy would have died at like the beginning of the movie, and he'd have spent the whole movie killing people.
Yeah. And honestly, God, that probably would have been a better movie. Because this movie, it does take its time to get good. It's like, I don't think, the only thing that I think is horrible about it throughout is just, what the fuck happened in the editing room on this movie? You know what I'm talking about immediately when I say that.
I mean, so we were watching like a restored version of the film, and there are shots that are like so yellow and so low quality, and then it'll cut back to pristine footage, and it's so weird when it happens too. Like, one of the shots that was like really low quality is him explaining to like the cafeteria worker that his parents died, but then the cafeteria worker responding to that is like crystal clear.
Yeah.
It's like, did you cut out the setup to this shot?
I feel like it has to be such a specific, it has to be like so specific. I almost wonder if it's like, were the shots organized by which camera they were shot on, and one of the camera's footage got like messed up. Like, or like they were like, when they were like, you know, when they were organizing their footage, did they base it on, okay, this is camera A, this is camera B, this is camera C? Is that how they did it? Because otherwise it makes no fucking sense. Because it's not like, oh, there's like, this scene is lower quality, but then this scene is higher quality. No, in between cuts, it switches back and forth. And it's like this the entire movie. So that's a huge critique. And I guess maybe it's something that truly was out of most of their control. Maybe it's like one person fucked up really badly and the rest of the movie suffers because of that. I have no idea. I remember a timeline where we almost lost all of Toy Story 2. I mean, we're in the timeline that where we didn't lose Toy Story 2. We're the time, but like it almost happened. You know, people were more irresponsible with their footage back then. But yeah, it's just bizarre. It's just bizarre seeing how this movie plays out like that, and it's very distracting, and it definitely takes you out of it the entire time. So, I think that's the worst thing about the movie, because it's like an objective. There's no subjectiveness to it. It's bad that happens.
Yeah. I really don't know how that happens.
I think it's got to be a really specific case. Like someone can tell a story of why that happened, and it'd be like, you're the only movie this has ever fucking happened to.
Here's the thing, because there's a movie like Silent Night, Deadly Night. I used to have like the DVD version of that where like when it would occasionally get super yellow, but it was always like the super violent shots, right? It would get super yellow, and then you get a really grisly kill before it went back to normal definition for, like, the wide shot. And it's like, okay, I understand what's happening here. The more violent shots got cut out and are being reinserted later, which I think they've even cleaned up now, but, but, like, this movie, it's like, I don't understand, because it's not even like this stuff was cut out, I don't think. Like, as far as I can tell, all of the footage we saw was from the theatrical cut. So I don't know how some of it looks so much worse than the rest of it. I
don't know. I feel like something happened to a lot of the film, and the only Either it was just like it happened extremely randomly, or it's based on the camera that was being used. If they organized by camera instead of sequence.
Yeah, maybe they were able to recover the footage from, like, a few of the cameras, but, like, some of them they had to go back in and, like, use the super yellow footage they have.
Mm-hmm. That would be my guess, but I could be completely wrong about that. It could just be like horrible organization that led to that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's very distracting. And a case that where this happened in the past in a previous movie we talked about. What was it? Starship Crashers? What's it called again? It's a name like that.
Star Crash?
Star Crash. Probably that. I think that was it. I'm combining like multiple sci-fi movie names together, like Stormship Troopers or shit like that. No, Star Crash. Yeah, because that movie, whenever they have special effects on screen, it like the quality lowers. But that is a reason.
That was more a result of the special effects. How
Yeah.
they were doing the special effects, you know?
Well, right, and that's what I'm saying is you watch that and like it's distracting, it's weird, but you also understand why that happened. Which
Right.
I mean, which you know, it's avoidable, but maybe it's not avoidable when you're such a low budget film, or you just don't know entirely how the professionals are doing it. But this movie, it's just what the fuck. I like again, like the only people who could figure out why that happened are the people who worked on it. Because it's just it's so weird, it's so bizarre. There's nothing, I've never seen anything like that before. So that's just something really unique about Evilspeak is the quality of the footage that you're watching is extremely inconsistent throughout.
Something else weird about this movie that I'm learning right now is you said it was released in 1981. It released in 81 in Japan, France, and Germany, but here in the US, which is where the movie's from, it's a US movie, it didn't release till 82.
I actually did say 82, but now that you say that, I am reading on the Wikipedia that it says 1981.
Yeah, it released abroad before it released here. I'll tell you where it did not release, at least not on video, the UK, because this was one of the video nasties. We actually could have done this for Sick as Shit if we wanted to.
It would be pretty, it's been pretty underwhelming for Sick as Shit.
It's on the tamer end of video nasties, not the absolute tamest, obviously. Like, that ending does get, like, grisly.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I don't know, I feel like for, like, Sick as Shit, it's almost good if you kind of got that ball rolling throughout. Not that it always has with that show, but I mean...
yeah. No, like, apart from being a video nasty, I don't know that it was a super controversial film, even.
I don't think it should be. At least, I mean, I've seen plenty of movies that are just like this one.
Yeah.
From that time. So, it's kind of weird to me that this one would have been considered not okay for release, because, I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't know, maybe it's just because of morbid ideas to, like, murdering a puppy, which
I mean, I think it's,
I know a lot of people don't like.
I think it's because of, like, the Satanism, and how, like, kinda okay with Satanism the film is.
Yeah, I mean, and I guess it's like, there's two ways of looking at that. There's like a very nonchalant way to look at it. It's just like, oh yeah, no, Satanism is pretty cool. But also it does seem like the character, you know, our main character doesn't get to go about his life after that. So he did kind of, the movie puts you in the headspace of why you understand why he would want to do this, why he would kind of like cave in and just embrace it. But it also shows you why it's still a bad thing to do that. You know, it's just like Midsummer. This movie is just 100% exactly like Midsummer, where Midsummer kind of teaches you why it's cool to be in a cult, where people die every year. And they kill other people who aren't worthy.
I mean, Anton LaVey, founder of the Church of Satan, liked this movie. He had a list of, like, movies everyone in the Church of Satan should watch, and this was one of them.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think that you could argue the message at the end of the movie is kind of like, even with all that, don't cave in, because again, he doesn't get, it's not like Clint Howard gets a happy ending after his revenge. He's done. But at the same time, it's not like the movie is fixated on that message. You could even argue it's not a message in the movie at all. It's kind of glanced, like, quickly glanced at the very end, and then that's about it. So I could see why the lead of the Church of Satan would enjoy this. Why it'd be up his alley.
yeah.
I love how when they're about to take the dog out, the thing on the computer does specify human blood.
Yeah.
It's like, human blood, stop! It's like, Even Satan thinks you're a dick if you kill a dog.
Even there's a moment there where you're like, Clint Howard, do not kill this dog. Do not kill the dog for Satan. And he doesn't.
He does only go after bad people in this movie, you know? There isn't, I don't think there's any, like, real innocent deaths in this movie caused by him.
I mean, there is that woman who, like...
I was gonna bring her up, yeah.
Steals the fucking, like, journal he found.
Mm-hmm.
The, like, diary of the Satanist that he's found. And she gets, like, attacked by pigs in the shower.
Yeah. That's why I said not directly his fault. I mean, with that being said, I'll say, like, I don't think her stealing the book necessarily means she deserves to die. But also, fuck her.
I mean, I think it's mostly just like, oh, this book is cursed, and you have taken it from, like, the person that, like, I don't know, the evil Satanist who wrote it wanted to have it, so
yeah,
you die because of evil satanic powers.
She didn't deserve to die, but the movie also made me dislike her, because Clint Howard showed up and told her how important it was to him, and she just kind of gave him a condescending response. And it's like, all right, you know what? In a real life scenario, I don't think you deserve to die, but in this movie, I'm glad you're dead.
She is on, like, the upper end of, like, good people in this movie.
She really, yeah, I mean, like, and that's because the bar it's like below the ground.
Low. Like, his black friend and the cook are the only people who are nice to him the whole movie. She is not actively a dick to him the way everyone else is. She just steals his book and then is like, no, I don't have it.
Yeah, like, she's rude, you know, that's as far as it goes with her. She's a rude person, but everyone else is, like, basically pure fucking evil. I mean, it's like there's no line, it really is those two characters, and everyone else is... The only other characters that you could say aren't evil are the characters we don't hear speak enough to determine if they're evil or not. But yeah, it's, that's about all I've got to say about it. It's a lot of build up to seeing that happen. When it happens, it's really fun. And Clint Howard's, like, his facial expressions are really good during that scene. Clint Howard is, by all means, a talented actor. With the roles, he's typecasted. But with the roles you give him...
He works as, like, kind of the loser outcast kid who would fall in with Satan.
And he's also, like, good at carrying out the sympathetic scenes, where there's a scene where he actually does have a human connection with the guy who works in the cafeteria. That's a good scene, because both of the people delivering, like, an exchange in that scene are good actors. There's also, you know, when he's mourning the death of the dog, it's genuine, you know, it's heartbreaking. When he's having the time of his life murdering the people who've wronged him at the end of the movie, it's really, you know, it's a fun horror movie scene.
Yeah.
So Clint Howard, I mean, the reason I always love the idea of Clint Howard being the king of Hall of Victories is because it's like, I don't think it's an ironic badge of honor to give him. If it's Rob Schneider or Adam Sandler, I think it's an ironic badge of honor. With Clint Howard, he's been good in everything we've talked about him in. Like, he's always the part that works.
You keep forgetting that he was in Rhapsody Street Kids.
Who did he fucking voice in that, though?
He was... I think he's the kid with the... No, is he the kid with the scarf over his mouth, or is he, like, one of the bullies? I forget.
I have to watch it again. I don't, like, because maybe he does suck in that, like, because I don't remember there being any good performances in that. But I mean, you have Mark Hamill, this, like, really professional voice actor, and he sucked in that, so it's like...
Yeah, no, I mean, most people suck in that movie.
Do I even want to count Rhapsody Street Kids? I have to, it's part of the show, but yeah, Rhapsody Street Kids is, like, an exception, you know? It's not the norm, because no one was good in Rhapsody Street Kids. No one was good in Rhapsody Street Kids. That movie has a weird number of professionals. Like, wasn't one of them Belle's voice actor or Ariel's voice actor? I forget which one.
Both, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Ariel's voice actor was definitely in that.
I know there was a bunch of Simpsons voices on. Honest to God, the Simpsons voice actors were the best ones because they just did their Simpsons voices for the movie.
Anyways...
let's not get on a Rhapsody Street Kids talk.
Other than that, pretty much every time Clint Howard has shown up, it's been like, ah ha ha, it's him.
It was a cameo in Cat in the Hat, but it was a funny cameo. It's kind of like, isn't he kind of like the mayor's yes man and
Yeah.
Gorilla Grinch, and that was funny. And he looks like a Who without the makeup. So Barbed Wire, he was a good part of that movie.
I mean, he just kind of belongs in the Barbed Wire universe.
He was no big fatso, but no one is.
Oh no, of course not. I mean, he was also in Halloween, wasn't he? And he's no big grizzly.
He's no big grizzly. He's no big Joe Grizzly. God, those special characters that make some of the more boring movies so much worth it. Like Nicholas might be the most mentioned character on Hall of Victories. And it's from one of the most forgettable things we've ever talked about.
Yeah.
Like, I can't tell you anything else about that movie other than Nicholas and whatever the Italian chef's name is that I am forgetting right now. No, it's not Giuseppe. Is it Giuseppe?
I think so.
Anyways, let's get back on topic. Evilspeak. Should we talk about casting?
Probably.
We already said Clint Howard is amazing in it. He is. Not a very memorable cast. That's the thing, is I'm looking at the cast and I'm like, okay, who? Like,
we do have one or two returning actors. Don Stark, who is credited as Bubba.
Don Stark, what did he do?
Well, he was in John Carter. That's the main bully. He was in that 70s show, you know?
Sure.
What's that character's name?
Oh, the one of the character's fathers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. I wasn't into that 70s show that much, but I did see a lot of it.
I haven't, sat down and watched a significant amount of it, but, I've always enjoyed it when I've seen it.
I always liked I think the main character's name was Eric. I liked his mom and dad a lot. They were fun, but I didn't care for much of the other characters. I was always more, when it came to sitcoms, there wasn't that many that I liked. Like, Malcolm in the Middle is, fucking legendary, but there was only so many good ones. That 70s show was, fine.
No, he was the main love interest's dad in that show, and was also in John Carter. John Carter. I second guessed myself. I thought it wasn't called that. Also, Jim Greenleaf, who plays the fat bully in this. He also played McDermott in Joysticks, Michael's favorite movie from the show.
Oh yeah.
He is not in a lot of movies, so the fact that 2 of his films have been on this show, he is credited on 10 movies on Letterboxd.
It's too bad because he seems like someone who could be funny, but he kept getting the lesser versions of funny movies. No, you're not getting Animal House, you're getting Joysticks.
Yeah.
Toy Soldiers is probably the most notable thing he's been in, looking at his filmography. He wasn't especially good or especially bad in this. I did not find him notably insufferable in this. I found all of the characters in this movie insufferable mainly, but it's because they were supposed to be. In Joysticks, I found him insufferable despite the fact that he was supposed to be making me laugh. So, I'd say that this is an improvement.
It was less annoying in this movie where everyone is a terrible person.
Yeah.
Well, hold on. We got one of the actors from Star Crash too, Hamilton Camp.
Oh.
Who was
cool.
Hauptmann. I don't remember most of these characters. I think he was.
He might have been the teacher.
I think he's one of the adults.
I mean, I actually like his other movies, so there we go.
Whatever. He's also in Star Crash.
This is a hard cast to talk about because it's who? Oh yeah, maybe, I don't know. Is R.G. Armstrong the one who is technically working in the same place as Stanley Copperdick?
Cooperdick. Yeah, he's the one who works down in the basement.
He's got the right look for a character like that, just a creepy guy in the basement. I know that's a backhanded compliment, but he fit that role pretty well, I'd say. That's the one character that does die before the big climactic scene too. And he's another character
Oh, yeah.
that you just kind of watch it and you feel like he fucking deserves it.
No, he's kind of a shithead in the movie. As with all of these characters, that's the thing. We're going on the list like he's an asshole, he's an asshole, he's an asshole.
That's mainly everybody, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I wish I had more to say about these guys, but what is there really to say?
Yeah, I don't know. They're just kind of they're fodder for the slaughter, you know.
Charles Tyner, who played Colonel Kincaid, however you say that, I recognize him from Peach Dragon. I really loved that movie as a kid. He was one of the abusive parents.
I know you're a big fan of the child abuse song in that movie.
I'll cook you cake and gingerbread. Bring you tea in bed on a plate. Tray, my bad. Very good. He was also in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. That's a good one.
Oh yeah, I mean this cast has been in good stuff.
Are we ready to move on? I feel like I've said everything I need to about Evilspeak. I enjoyed it as a whole. Like, I don't regret watching it. I think that, frankly, I would say that I think a 50% is a little harsh. I would give it, like, no, maybe. No, that might actually be perfect. It's not that. It's not, I don't know why I'm saying that's a little harsh. I'd be saying it's a little harsh if it was like a 25 or something, but no, this is... Yeah, it's pretty inoffensive. I think the worst thing about it really is just how it was released afterwards, because, why does so much of the footage look like that? That's not something that should be forgiven, really.
Let's...
Avoid making your movie look at that like that at all costs. It probably, if it happens nowadays, you're especially fucked.
I feel like that's going to be a lot harder to do now that everything is shot digitally. Even stuff that is shot on film is transferred to digital for editing.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the Ice Cream Man, huh?
Yeah.
So way back in the past, there was this kid, Gregory, and he watched the Ice Cream Man, the Ice Cream King, get mowed down by gangsters, which, like, severely traumatized him, and he got taken to this evil asylum run by, like, a crazy guy, and got injected with, like, weird evil serum for a while. So now he's an adult, and he's taken over the Ice Cream King's racket. He's taken over the store. He's running the truck. It's weird because, like, at the top of the truck you can see that it says Ice Cream Prince. He doesn't consider himself the Ice Cream King, but you do still see Ice Cream King logos all over the truck.
Yeah.
But he's out serving the kids ice cream and also secretly murdering people. And this one group of kids called the Rocketeers, they call themselves the Rocketeers, I think because they have, like, rockets attached to their bikes to, like, shoot at people, just in case, because they shoot a cop with a rocket at one point. They've caught on that, like, he's murdering people, but, like, the adults don't really care that much. Some police show up and, like, bust up his store, like pointlessly bust up his store. We'll get to that. But they don't find anything that important. So
right.
it's up to these kids to take down the evil Ice Cream Man that is murdering people. Although mostly not children. He does try to kill one of the Rocketeers. But there's like one kid you think he's killed at the start, but it turns out that kid is just hiding because he killed, like, the trash collector. And then there's another kid you think he's killed, but he's actually keeping him on the walls and training him to be the next Ice Cream Man. Yeah, that's basically it. They're trying to get the Ice Cream Man who's murdering people. Michael, what'd you think of Ice Cream Man?
I had a good time with it. It's kind of interesting because there was a point of the movie where I was actually giving the movie more of a benefit of the doubt than it really deserved. Because I was, like, really confused by Clint Howard's motivation, the Ice Cream Man's motivation in this. And I thought it was going to lead into something a little bit more interesting, but it's really just comes down to, no, he's totally fucked up because he watched the Ice Cream Man die right in front of him. He saw him get shot down, and then in the mental hospital, they only made it worse. And it's like, those are good setups for a story or for, like, dissecting a character, how they became the way they are. But the movie doesn't really do anything interesting with it. And if anything, they kind of do, like, laughable shit with it. So, but I was just so... I think out of all the stuff we've seen Clint Howard in, this is his best performance. And I got so into the creepy performance that I was like, no, there actually is more to this guy. I'm looking at like what he doesn't. Okay, like he especially hates law enforcement, but he isn't like he's pretty nice to the kids. Like his kindness towards the kids and his genuine hope to keep them happy seems sincere. And I almost feel like they should have to make the character more interesting, they should establish some sort of moral code where no matter what, he won't kill the kids. And again, like that's obviously not what they were going for by the end of it, because he is trying to kill a kid at the end of it to not get in trouble. I feel like it would have been more interesting if they didn't have that, and like you really tie like his hatred for what happened to the ice cream man as like his ice cream man as a kid, like he had this irrational attachment to this guy as a kid, and then saw him get shot right in front of him, and like he tie the mobster to that, like he just sees like the evil in humanity, like that's why he goes after the guy who's committing adultery. That's why he goes after people he sees that are just acting like douchebags. But he really does kill like just people who aren't fucking doing anything in this movie. And then at the end, he is trying to go after a kid. So I feel like there is a way that this actually could have worked better and been interesting on top of being like kind of funny. But it let me down in that regard. But it also leads to some of it being really funny and weird and confusing. Like the confusion of this movie was entertaining. And one of the biggest like what the fuck moments we had watching it, Mitzi was in the room with us. It was mainly me and Mitzi going at it. Was the scene where they were at the mental hospital and it looked like a fucking horror park attraction.
Honestly, like I've seen this before, and I kind of forgot about that until like the flashbacks start happening, and then I'm like, oh yeah, there's a scene where they like go to this mental institute, and it's like buck wild.
And it's like really amusing, but it's like I don't get it. That's like my biggest thing with it. I don't like. It's one of those scenes where I'm looking at it, it's like I can't even give you the benefit of the doubt. I don't understand what you're doing. It was like way too well lit. It should have been darker for the creepiness of the scene. The colors of the scene weren't good. And the two actors who are trying to get out of this hospital don't seem concerned in the slightest. They seem annoyed. Like it is like, seriously, I urge anyone who is listening to this, who's just listening to it without watching the movies, if you don't want to watch all of Ice Cream Man, I recommend it. It's a funny movie. It's interesting. It's not a good movie, but it's a funny movie. And it gets enough right to where I gave it a 6 out of 10. Because I don't think it's bad either. I don't think it's great. It's not bad, though. But watch that. If you don't want to watch the whole movie, watch that scene, because it is baffling to me. I have no idea what they were going for there. It is so... the direction of that scene... I don't think I've ever seen worse direction in a movie than I saw in that scene. Nobody looked like they understood what they were supposed to be doing there.
The thing about Ice Cream Man is, like, it's clearly trying to be a comedy. Like, they know this is a little goofy, and they're leaning into how goofy it is. But also, it's, like, not a very well-made film, and you're not sure to what extent that is part of the joke. And, like, in that scene especially, you're like, what even?
Here's the thing, because I agree with you, because there's shots in that scene that seem like they're supposed to be a joke. Like Mitzi called it out. There's the guy who's just kind of chilling, like they're cutting all these people like trying to act scary, but then there's just a guy lying down and having a good time. That seems like a shot out of a parody movie. It's then followed up by like one guy's like playing with one guy's beard. There's a shot where two guys are sitting on toilets. Like it's like this feels like it's supposed to be funny, but they're not even getting the satire side of it done right. You know? It's just confusing. It's just a very confusing scene in the movie. And there's a lot of stuff like that in this movie. And I fully believe they were not taking this that seriously, even though I did give the movie more of a benefit of the doubt at the start, like not in terms of like, because, you know, making a bad movie on purpose can be really fun. And that doesn't necessarily reflect the quality. Because if your intention was to make a funny shitpost movie, and you succeeded, then it's a good movie. Because it accomplished what it set out to be. In this film's case, it's like, I think that's what you're doing at times, but then there's parts where I'm like more intrigued with the character, but then that doesn't go where I think it's going to go. And then there's scenes where it's like, oh, this is like a really good potential for a joke, but then they don't land the joke that well either, you know? It's like, so it's a confusing movie to me.
Yeah, I get it. I'm with you.
Can I also say something else that I just kind of find funny about this one?
Sure.
And this is definitely more of a side tangent. There's a lot of movies from 1995 that have made it on Hall of Victories now, and I'm not. There's probably a couple other years that have been. We've discussed. We've discussed 106 movies now, I think.
Yeah.
And so of course, like some years are going to show up more than others, but for 1995 we have Showgirls. The only reason I know this is because I just recently added this to my 1995 ranking on Letterboxd. But we have Showgirls, Waterworld, Canadian Bacon, Batman Forever, Tank Girl, Ice Cream Man, and then and that's it for those. But then like movies that I've watched because of you, like Casino was part of the. I watched that as like part of the pair up with Godfather Part 3 versus Shrek the Third, because I was watching a bunch of mafia movies. I watched Kicking and Screaming because of you, because it was the first movie we watched for like Duck Cast back in the day. Just a lot of shit like that, you know. Ghost in the Shell was one of Cass's movie night picks. It's just kind of funny how many of these movies are like, how many of these were watched through Discord calls? And like the answer is half of the fucking list.
Hey, you wanna know something about all those films from 1995? They're also 30.
Maybe not all of them. Maybe some of them were released in December or November.
Possibly. But Ice Cream Man is 30.
I'm turning 30. I was going to share that song.
I'm turning 30. You're already 30.
I was going to share the Bo Burnham song, I'm turning 30, because it's funny, but there's two reasons I didn't. One of them is it ends with a suicide line, like I forget how it goes, and then I'll be 40 and kill myself then is the final line, but I forget it. I was like, well, I don't want to make anyone worried that that's where I'm at. And the other one is like there's a line that's repeated over and over is, my stupid friends are having stupid children, ugly, disgusting, stupid children. I'm like, well, the only friend I have that has had kids is Cass, so that's going to feel like a specific attack if I do that. I guess Cass and Olivia. Yeah. I'll only name, but same kid.
It's same kid. I do think though there's like stuff about this film that is like supposed to be funny and is. I mean, even like the backstory of him seeing the Ice Cream Man get gunned down by gangsters. That's a little funny. That seems like a joke to me.
Oh yeah. Well, when he says like, "Who's gonna give me ice cream now, Ma?" That's very funny. Like, I mean, the way, and the fact that they shot it differently too from the rest of the movie, like it's like black and white, it's more old school. Like, yeah, that's an effective joke.
I also like the push pop knife that he has, and when he puts like the guy's head inside an ice cream cone.
Yeah, no, that's great. Shit like that was wonderful.
That's what you want out of something like the Ice Cream Man.
I like him doing the waffle cone press on the one guy's face.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's the same guy he puts on the ice cream cone then later. I say later, it's like a couple, like maybe not even a whole minute later. But yeah, I think the only thing that he was missing is he should have put sprinkles on one of the heads. But yeah, as a whole for me with this movie, it's just very funny. Very funny movie with, I think it could have been better in terms of like a silly movie, even one that you're acknowledging is kind of silly, but it's also like it accomplishes a lot of what it tried to do, and I had a good time watching it.
No, yeah, I'm totally with you. Like it's a funny movie. It's trying to be a funny movie. It definitely could have been more than what it is. If
the Kickstarter for the sequel that didn't happen came out today, I would be willing to throw a little bit at it.
Yeah, I was gonna mention that there was a Kickstarter for a sequel that failed, but the movie wasn't like it's gained a little more cult status since then, I think, because like it's been put out by like Vinegar Syndrome now, so it's like a little more well known. YouTubers I watched have reviewed it. Phaelus reviewed it back in the day. That's how I know there was a failed Kickstarter, because he made fun of the failed Kickstarter. It does kind of set itself up for a sequel with, like, the one kid, like, now wanting to be the Ice Cream Man. Small Paul now wants to be the Ice Cream Man. And I think it'd be really funny to come back and just have Clint Howard play Small Paul as an adult.
They could go that route, or they could go the route of he's like a hallucination. Either would be
Sure.
fine. It's kind of a funny thing, and I wonder how intentional this was. Back when iDubbbz was actually making videos and not rage baiting people, he made a documentary titled "Ice Cream Man." By the way, I defended iDubbbz for years before making that comment. I don't give a shit. Not his use of slurs. His wife having a OnlyFans I defended, but nowadays it just kind of seems like they're trying to piss people off. But his documentary Ice Cream Man with Dax Flame, who I fucking love Dax Flame. That guy's channel is great, and he's been in a lot of Joel Haver's films, which I've really enjoyed. But that documentary is titled Ice Cream Man, and I'm like, how intentional is that parallel? Was that like, because the reason it's called that is because when they made the documentary, Dax Flame was working as an ice cream man. But it's like, I'm almost curious to rewatch that now. Is there a nod to Ice Cream Man in that movie? Who knows? Just a little fun little tidbit there. Dax Flame is a way nicer person than Clint Howard's character, though. I do not believe Dax Flame has kidnapped any children.
Yeah. So a fun fact I know about this film is Clint Howard revealed this on in an interview with Joe Bob Briggs, which I think is on the Blu-ray. I think the episode of Joe Bob Briggs featuring the Ice Cream Man is on the Blu-ray I own. But in his interview with Joe Bob Briggs, he said the way he got his voice like all raspy like it is in this movie, he would drive to set and just scream the whole way there. The whole time he was driving to set, he would just scream at the top of his lungs so that his voice would sound all worn out and raspy.
That's awesome. I love that.
So people would just be like driving around LA and look over and like there's Clint Howard screaming his brains out in the car next to them.
They probably just thought that was like, oh god, he's going through shit.
King
he still does that.
Victories. We love him.
Oh yeah. No, like I said, he's fucking great in this movie. I don't think this movie would have anything of him because I gotta like comment on this too. I do not take pride in being mean to child actors, and it's not really the child actor in this movie was perfectly acceptable. You know, it's just kind of your corny child acting. But they even like have a name for their pack, you know, and I forget what the name is because when there's this, no, we gotta do this because we're the so-and-so pack and we stick together. What they call it?
The Rocketeers.
We're the Rocketeers, and I'm just like, this is like, you're trying to be like a Goonies, or like, again, like, obviously Stranger Things is modern, but that's one that did it successfully. That's my point with that, bringing that one up. It's like, whenever these movies try to like do these like groups of kids, like the reason it works in Goonies is because it focuses on them, you know? Yeah. This movie takes way too much of the focus off them. I don't care about it. Like, none of these kids have interesting personalities. The most interesting thing about them, and honestly, God, I'm surprised we haven't mentioned this yet, is that one of them is the fat kid is just a kid with a pillow up his shirt.
I was kind of saving that for the cast discussion.
That's
because,
fair.
like, why not just cast a fat kid? Like, you can, like, he doesn't have a fat face. He has a normal kid face.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, also you can absolutely tell there's a pillow in his shirt, like, the whole movie.
It's like, really obvious.
Why not just cast a fat kid? Just cast an actual fat kid. Come on, how hard would that be? Goonies did it!
Yeah, cast a fat person, we're hilarious. Yeah, no, it's just... Yeah, it's silly. It's really silly. But at the same time, that's the most notable thing about the kids in this movie.
No, he's the most interesting of all the kids, I think.
For
sure. In part because of that, but also because he has, like, the most personality. He gets to do the most throughout the film. Also, his name is Tuna Casera.
Yeah, that's a good point. And
yeah, his mom calls him Chris, like, once. So that's... I guess his real name. I don't know how he got the nickname Tuna. They don't elaborate.
And then the like one older brother douchebag character is like, why would they name their kid Tuna? Apparently they didn't. I'm just ruining all the things that you want to bring up in this, Matt. Like, you wanted to bring up the Kickstarter, I spoiled that. You want to bring up the pillow, I spoiled that.
Oh, we maybe should talk about this cast, huh?
I think we'll have more to say about them than Evilspeak at the very least.
Yeah, I mean, one of the girls... She was the little girl in Tom and Jerry the movie. Andy McAfee.
One of the best films of all time.
Yeah, she's also in, like, most of the Land Before Time sequels. She's in a lot of the Land Before Time sequels. Although apparently she was on, like, Recess and maybe Hey Arnold too. So
That'd be like the most evil thing you could do. Is like, we're gonna do all of the Land Before Time sequels.
now that's something I would do for drunk rankings,
Right, yeah.
She's not the only one. Sandahl Bergman makes a return appearance. Miss Red Sonja herself. I'm sorry, Bridget Nielsen was Red Sonja. She was the villain in Red Sonja. My mistake. Sandahl Bergman was also in Xanadu.
Oh, hey.
She was one of the muses in that. And she's the fat kid's mom.
This isn't a Hall of Victories return, but Ryan Holohan, who was the guy who worked at like the picture processing store, he was in Ed Wood, which was a Out of the Ring movie we talked about.
It sure was.
Definitely a better movie than a lot of the stuff we talk about here.
Were there any besides Clint Howard? Because I do think this is like one of the best uses of Clint Howard I've ever seen in a movie.
He is great.
He is perfect for this role. Like this is the role Clint Howard was born to play. Apart from him, is there anyone that like really stands out to you?
The older brother who wants to be a cop kind of had it going. He would have needed to be in more of the movie to really stand out, but he kind of had this like dickish energy to him, this like, punk like attitude, despite wanting to be a police officer. That kind of like, it stuck out a little. That stuck out a little bit. I'm trying to think if there's anyone else, because it's kind of like, it's almost like a lack of expression from everybody that kind of makes me laugh with this one.
Yeah, the girl's father, who's like a reverend, stands out a little to me.
Oh, yeah, him too. I think he's probably the second most eccentric character in the movie.
But yeah, I mean, he like does something.
Yeah.
He's there.
I mean, yeah, a lot of these guys are just like, again, with the kid actors, I don't even blame it on them. It's like, it's a pretty dull script for them to go off through a lot of it, but it's like...
Yeah.
I've seen that happen a lot of times where there'll be like an interesting setup and it's like, oh, now we have to focus on the kid characters who are going to put this to a stop, or they're trying to figure this out, and it's like, they're just written very poorly, and it's like, I think that just them being kids dealing with a more adult situation is like, or a more dangerous situation, I should say, is like the intrigue point. But I can tell you why the kids in the Goonies stand out. I can tell you why the kids in Stranger Things stand out. I really like these kids. No, and again, it's not the kids' fault. They're just reading what's given to them. I felt the same way about the show Happy, which was like that weird detective show with like the animated horrors. There's like most of that's like from adult.
Like the guys that made Crank, isn't it? At least one of the guys that made Crank.
I could believe that with the way it was made. A lot of the fucking effects in that show look like shit, but some of it was entertaining. There were some fun fight scenes in that movie. But you get like the main guy talking to the animated horse character, and I remember enjoying that. And then but then it would occasionally cut to this like kid who's trying to escape this creepy guy with a bunch of other kids, and it's like we switched to a different show. Like, tonally, it was not the same at all, and the only character traits that the characters had was they are kids,
Yeah.
And it's like, God, just, you can make a kid character interesting. Want to look at, like, animated shows, like Gravity Falls, Avatar did fucking amazing with that. I feel like this movie, just like the kid characters we have to spend a lot of time with, very boring, very unexceptional. Again, I always feel mean going after a kid, but I'm not really going after a kid. I'm going after a bad writer of kid characters.
Yeah. No, I feel like they put all of their attention on like the ice cream man and like doing funny ice cream kill gags with that. And then it's just kind of like, okay, well, what do we do for the rest of the movie? I don't know. There's some kids and they like try to solve the case.
I already called it out, but it really, the scene where it really hit me what they were trying to do was the scene where they said, like, no, we're so-and-so, and you already told me what they were called, I forget already. That's how forgettable it is. Like, we're this, and we stick together. It's like, you're trying to be Goonies. You're trying so hard to be fucking Goonies, and you are not succeeding. And yeah, like, it's just, because you have to fucking care. You have to fucking care. You can't just impersonate. You have to fucking care about what you're doing. And with those kid characters, it just so clearly felt like they were trying to like find a way to justify the other scenes they actually wanted to make, rather than like, oh, this is also something we have a good idea for. Because those scenes are so fucking boring at times. And there's a lot of movies that make that same mistake. There's a lot of shows that make that same mistake.
Absolutely.
It's another good example of how to do it right.
It, the movie.
I haven't seen the short series, honestly, but the It movie, I would say, did a good job. The short series, I don't know how they did. I know that people love Tim Curry in that, but I don't know if it's ironic or unironic love.
You gotta specify, because you just, the way you said it, I'm like, what is a good example? Oh, he just means It, the movie It. You weren't referring to some previous thing. It sounded like you just said, oh, it's a good example of that, and I'm like, what is? Oh, it is a good. Okay, I get it now.
Yeah, I guess I.
No, it's pretty good. Monster Squad, I would say, is a movie that like does a lot with the like kid troop. Even I like the kid troop is fun. They kind of feel like discount Goonies, and like the fun part of that movie is that they're going up against like Universal horror monsters. But I don't know. I still have fun with that movie. I like Monster Squad a lot.
If they at least tried, right?
Yeah.
Because, like, this movie doesn't try. Like, again, like, they're putting all their energy on Clint Howard, and he's great. He's fun to watch, but when the movie shouldn't come to a halt when you have to focus on someone else.
Yeah.
It should be fun, like, oh, cool, we're back to these characters. Oh, cool, now we're back to these characters. Like, and all the other characters in this movie suck. The Reverend's kind of interesting. Like you said, I agree with that. To me, the older brother who wants to be a cop is kind of interesting, but even then, they're not in a lot of it.
Are you ready to vote on this one?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. I'm first, so I'll just go ahead and say, like, Ice Cream Man feels very close to, like, what they were trying to accomplish with this movie. Like, they were trying to make a funny horror movie, and they made a funny horror movie. I could, like, critique some of the stuff they have in there, but, like, they did, in fact, make a funny horror movie, and it's very entertaining. Far more entertaining than Evilspeak was, I think. Like, Evilspeak has its moments, but it's not on the level of Ice Cream Man.
Yeah, I'm fully agreeing with you on this one. Like, my thoughts exactly. If the whole movie played out like the very end of Evilspeak, there'd be more of a competition here. But no, I mean, Evilspeak is a lot of waiting for the payoff, where Ice Cream Man, pretty entertaining. Like, literally the first scene is pretty entertaining. Like, with the mafia killing the Ice Cream Man. Like, that's ridiculous. That's funny. That's interesting. Yeah, no, the Ice Cream Man is way more entertaining throughout, and even though I do have stuff to comment about it, like, I'd actually be willing to show Ice Cream Man for, like, a bad movie night. And again, bad movie in quotes. You know, it's like a silly movie night pick rather than a bad movie night pick. I'd almost want to argue. But Evilspeak, you would be like, I feel like I'd be too afraid that I'm going to bore the people I'd want to show it to before we make it to the good stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Ice Cream Man, pretty good. It's a pretty good start.
Yeah. Audience is with us pretty overwhelmingly. It's not like the biggest margin of victory ever, but it's 89 to 11%.
Can I say one thing, though?
Sure.
I'm very happy to give this one to Ice Cream Man. But I will also say, if certain things that we've commented on were done better, I think it could have been like top 10 Hollow Victory movies. Like, it would have been on my top 10, maybe top 5, you know? Like, there's so much potential for this to be one of the, like, the truly great movies that we've talked about on the show, whether it be ironically or unironically. And it makes my top 20, but it feels like, I think I have it at 19th place right now, but it feels like something that could have been, like, at the very top. Like, there's enough clicking and working in it where this could have been one of the best things we've talked about so far, and it's not.
I feel like if we were to, like, hone in on, like, the like, objective best movies we've watched, the ones that are, like, the most, like, actually good, this belongs in that conversation. It would still definitely come below a lot of stuff. Like, I would definitely still put, like, Cat in the Hat and The Grinch and like, you know, Zardoz and Barbarella, obviously, and even some of the other stuff we've watched above this. But, like, it's close to being a good movie. It is really close to... I would even, like, dare to call it kinda good.
I would call it kinda good. I think that it's like... The thing is, Clint Howard is a very entertaining part of the movie, start to finish, and he's an interesting character to study in this movie, and he takes up more screen time than any other character.
Yeah.
So they kind of did the job right. I think they just either need to make these kids more interesting or not focused on them that much. I think that's the first big step to take. But then, yeah, it's not just the kids. A lot of the two policemen that we follow for a while, like I said, they look bored during the hospital scene. Like,
Yeah.
they weren't good. The best part of them was their puppeteered heads at the end, which we didn't really mention that either.
That wasn't even the same cops. Those were different cops.
Oh, they weren't the same ones? Okay. Well, what happened to those two cops? I didn't see them again.
They
got
show
so bored
up.
that they left. Okay,
They show up at the end. They arrest the kid after he shoots a rocket at them.
That's before they go to the hospital.
I'm pretty sure that's after the hospital, like right after the hospital.
I'm not prepared to argue that right now, but that's not how my memory served me watching this.
I don't know, maybe you're right. Anyways, Ice Cream Man wins.
It's a pretty easy one this time. Like by the end of Ice Cream Man, I was like, I'm gonna pick this, and Matt's gonna pick this.
Yeah, I kind of figured this one was gonna win, like at least after our viewings.
Evilspeak has some highlights though. Evilspeak is at the higher end of the list for sure.
So a funny thing happened to me. I pulled up the schedule for like the stuff I wanted to do for Hall of Victories, and it turns out that this next one I actually had down for September, and the Craven the Hunter versus Madam Web I had down for November. I think I switched that because I was like, it's gonna be a pain in the ass to try to like schedule things in October, so that's why I'm doing the guest episode in September, but I still had this down for September and the last episode down for November. But here's what we're doing for November. Rivalry as old as time, right? South Park versus Family Guy.
Ooh.
We're gonna be watching their not well received movies. It's Basketball versus A Million Ways to Die in the West.
Oh, I've been looking forward to this one. I forgot that this was one that we were thinking about doing. Is this one that I pitched, or is this one that we both pitched?
I said we should come up with something for Basketball, and you're like, we could do A Million Ways to Die in the West. And I'm like, that one wasn't like that horribly received, but I guess neither was Basketball. They are kind of on the same level, I think. So, yeah, we came up with this one together. This was a joint effort.
Basketball, I like parts of it. So that's all A Million Ways to Die in the West has to do. It has to make me laugh a couple of times. Because Basketball as a whole, not a very good movie, but there's a few jokes in that movie that land really well. So that's all that A Million Ways to Die in the West has to do. If they can just have a few jokes that really land, it stands a chance against Basketball. I do have a lot more respect for Trey Parker and Matt Stone than Seth MacFarlane, but I don't hate Seth MacFarlane, I guess, so we'll see what he can do. I mean, I think he's a talented voice actor.
No, I fully agree with all of that. I probably do have more respect for Trey and Matt. Certainly more respect for their show than I do Family Guy.
The new season's been pretty fucking funny.
Seth, he's a talented voice actor. He's a way better voice actor than Trey Parker. Like, every character on South Park has the same fucking voice.
I think I once heard, I don't remember who it was. It might have even been YMS. I once heard someone say that Trey Parker gets away with it better than Justin Roiland does. And this was before Justin Roiland was canceled. And I agree. I think that Trey Parker is like, there's just something about the way he does it where I'm very forgiving of it. Because it's always funny to me.
What? Like, Justin Roiland has a very specific voice where, like, Trey Parker can just kind of do, like, man voice. And then, he does, like, a little, like, funny performance, like, oh my goodness, look at this thing that is happening.
I've really liked the new season of South Park. I've been, like, it's been really fun. There's been one, I think what's happened, what's made the show better, is Trey and Matt finally accepted they're getting fucking old. And they're giving themselves 2 weeks for an episode instead of 1 week. And that's done wonders for it. That, and they're also, like, really hammering into the topical shit. And it's like, I need someone to fucking be making fun of this shit right now, because everybody's too fucking afraid right now to do it. So I'm glad they're doing it.
But I mean, we can talk more about them next time, right?
Yeah, yeah. Sorry for doing this tangent. It's just been very much
Ah,
talkative about them lately.
yeah. Well, we'll talk about them next time for sure.
For what it's worth, I'll shut up after this. For what it's worth, I did really enjoy Seth MacFarlane's Ted TV show. I was surprised. I thought it was gonna be a piece of shit. I actually really enjoyed it. So it's not that Seth MacFarlane can't do anything good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a reason we're not doing either of the Ted movies for this.
Yeah, I mean, I do kind of dislike Ted too, but not
I've never seen it. The first one I thought was fine, like 6 out of 10.
first one's. Yeah, the first Ted movie's good. The TV show I actually think is funnier than the movie.
I've heard good things about the show. I should check out the show.
Very funny, very ridiculous.
Until next time, for my co-host Makal Shadackle, I am Matt Presents. Have a happy Halloween.
Peace.
This thing is really well designed. Like, it's pretty simple, but like what they've managed to do with that very simple design is pretty good. Litter Robot, if you're interested in sponsoring a YouTuber, hit me up. This thing is going in the background like all the time. We'll just tie it in.
Be a pretty horrible sponsorship. Majority of the time, it's like, oh, the cat litter box is going off while we're trying to record.